What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Saturday. It is June 8th. We are back with another video. Hopefully this video finds you doing very well. If that's the case, let's have a fantastic Saturday as well. If you're new to the channel, this video might be different for you. You might not be used to what we're doing. Unlike other DFS channels, we are going to break it down. We're going to break it down from every single game that we can play. So there's 15 games, obviously. 14 of them are on the slate that we can look at. And then we've got, obviously, the Phillies and the Mets are in, they're in London. So it's a little bit different. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through every single game. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the bats. We're going to look at everything. Towards the end of the video, we currently do 10,000 simulations during the video, so those are running in the background. Towards the end of the video, we are going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. Now, since the slate locks pretty, what it is the main slate actually locks at 305 Central. So the main slate is at 305. I'm not sure if we'll have 20,000 simulations because I don't know if they'll be different, but we'll talk about it. So what we're going to do is, if you are new to the channel, we have giveaways every single day as well. We have 2 giveaways every single video, and you can win possibly twice a day. How do you win? First way, somewhere in this video, there's going to be a keyword. I'll have you put that keyword in the comment section. Just comment the keyword. That's the first way. So we have a giveaway just for anyone who puts a keyword in there. Secondly, which ties into that, if this video gets at least 50 likes, you leave a comment, and you are a YouTube subscriber, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. That is a week of MLB, NASCAR, PGA, and MMA. If the video gets at least 100 likes and you've left a comment, you have a chance to win a free $30 month. 150 likes is a chance at a $200 yearly pass, and 200 or more likes, a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass. We've never had anyone, we've had one person win a lifetime pass. That is it. So, 2 ways to win. Another way to win. We need, I think, 600 exactly, or no, 599 more subscribers. If we can get to 10,000 before July 4th, we're going to give away a lifetime pass as well. And also, at advisors_team on Twitter/X, if we can get to 10,000 subscribers there, or followers there, we will give another lifetime pass away. So, a lot of giveaways. A lot of fun, a lot of information to go over. So we are going to have the 2 giveaways right now. So this first one is going to be a giveaway for yesterday's video getting 81 likes. So someone will win a free week. Even if the keyword pops up in this first one, it's not for that. We're going to have 2 giveaways. So let's get through the giveaways quickly. So this will be the first giveaway because we got at least 50 likes on yesterday's video. The winner is Cujo Blue 73. Congratulations. I'll get you your free week on your account. So I already know Cujo has won multiple times. That is what I'm telling you. So if you are new to the channel, hit the bell notification so you guys can comment as soon as these videos go live, because we've had multiple winners multiple different times. And that's the same thing. You have a chance to win every single day. So that's the first winner. Congratulations, Cujo. And the second winner for using the keyword, Richie Smalls. The keyword yesterday was PS5. So congratulations, Richie. I'm not 100% if you have an account on the website. So what I need you to do is like this video and then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and let me know if you have an account on the site. Let me know the name. If you don't, let me know a username and an email you would like to get set up. And you guys can come back tomorrow, the next day, and the next day to win every single day until you win a lifetime pass. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down. We're going to go through everything. In the description of this video is the link to our Discord, where we give out core plays and stacks. On top of that, we give out some sports betting and stuff like that. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, those are there. Go check it out. Also, we have a huge video here, but if you're looking for maybe a little bit of less and you're looking, The article that coincides with today's video is in the description, and that breaks it down a little bit further. So we have the plays that we like, the pitchers we like, then it has usually about 5 plays at each position that we have narrowed down, part of our cheat sheet. So that being said, at the end of the video, we're going to kind of just look over yesterday's cheat sheet just to kind of give you guys an idea. So depending on you watch this video, you have a chance to sign up, and MMA is going on today as well. So we've got MMA, we've got NASCAR, we've got MLB, we've got it all. Let's get going. So just kind of looking at this, this first game we're not going to cover just because it's a showdown game. And not a lot of people play showdowns. I understand that. It's in London. A couple of years ago, the ball was flying out of there, like just home run after home run after home run. Especially the Yankees, the Red Sox game in 2019, that was huge. And then for whatever reason, and I don't know why it's so early, but it's kind of weird because I guess they're just making this a nationally televised game overall, because I believe last year this was part of the main slate. Like, you could play this game part of everything. The ball flew out of there a ton. Then they moved the seats back, I believe last year, and there wasn't a ton of home runs in that game, if I recall. But yeah, I mean, the Mets are terrible. So if you are playing the showdown, I would look at Ranger Suarez. I would look at the Philly bats here. Pretty much everybody. Sean Manaea has been pretty good too, but again, the Phillies are just one of the best teams in baseball right now. So that's kind of what I'd cover there. Not a ton that I like about the Mets anyway. Then we move to the Giants at the Rangers as the first game on this main slate. So the main slate is the first slate, actually. And this is kind of what we're going to see moving forward, I think. San Francisco has enough injuries in the rotation that, and this is what we saw last year, day of, we don't even know who's pitching for San Francisco for the most part. We can see who DraftKings thinks, but we're not 100% sure. So they think it's going to be Spencer Howard. He did pitch last on Monday, so it would make sense. I believe, I can't remember who he's taken over for, but again, yeah. In that game, went 4.2 innings. He's not going deep into the games. I don't know if they're considering him an opener for 4 innings. I wouldn't use him. I would obviously use the Texas bats here. Looking at this, then it's Andrew Heaney. You look at him, 6,700. We actually used him against Miami last time, and he went off. I kind of like this against San Francisco. I don't know. We used Michael Lorenzen yesterday. I believe he gave up 2 earned runs. San Francisco, that was basically it. 2 runs, I think, and didn't do much after that. If we look into this, let me see real quick. They put up 5 runs, but 2 early, and then 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. So the bullpen kind of came through, and kind of just let it go for Texas. It depends on what Texas team's going to show up. Spencer Howard, I think both of these pitchers are tournament-only pitchers. I don't feel confident about them. But if you are playing a tournament, you're playing this huge slate, you got to find a little bit. The bats that I would look at on both sides, Elliot Ramos has been on fire lately. I would look at him. You could look at Matt Chapman, who's usually great against the lefty. Jorge Soler, normally against the lefty, is good. Casey Schmidt, I don't mind at all. Those are Kurt Casale, possibly. Now, I don't know if he's going to be in there. I don't know if it's going to be him or Patrick Bailey. I believe Patrick Bailey's only a lefty, so I could see Kurt Casale being in there. Complete tournament pick there. I don't love the Giants' offense, but I'll have some exposure because I don't trust Andrew Heaney enough. Watching him on the Yankees just struggle. I just don't trust him. And then the flip side of that, if it is Spencer Howard, and Spencer Howard is... Where's he at? He's a righty, 2.08 ERA. Just doesn't go deep into games. Tournaments, okay, but again, if he doesn't go 5, we're not going to get those extra points, and he's not going to have a shot at a win. Corey Seager, I think he was day-to-day yesterday, but I would look at him against a lefty. I would look at Jonah Heim. I would look at Nate Lowe. I would look at... you could look at Travis Jankowski for cheaper. Robbie Grossman, I don't know if he'll be in there. He is a switch hitter, so he could be in there as well. It really depends if Grossman is even going to be in that lineup. So just kind of overall, I don't trust Howard enough. I guess Andrew Haney for tournaments, but I think in my mind, I would focus on the offenses a little bit more. Then you got the Twins at the Pirates. You got Simeon Woods Richardson versus Carmen Lozinski, maybe is how you say his name. He's very cheap at 4,000. He's got a 6.43 ERA in AAA. Has not done anything when he's been up here, and it looks like he's just a 1 to 2 inning guy. So he's out, and then it would be the bullpen. So it's very hard to even consider that. Simeon Woods Richardson, we've used him on and off this year. He's got a 3.05 ERA. Middle of the road here, 12, 16, 9, 11, minus 1.7. Hasn't faced Pittsburgh this year. Away, he's got a 3.49 ERA. I'm probably off of pitching in this one. I'm probably looking at the bats a little bit. Twins bats, maybe a little Kirilloff, Carlos Correa, Buxton, Max Kepler. Cheaper options would be Jose Miranda, Willie Castro a little bit. And then Pirates bats here against Woods Richardson, O'Neal Cruz, McCutcheon, Cabrian Hayes. And that's basically it. I don't love this game. I don't love it pretty much on both sides. I don't know if I'll have much exposure to this game. I might avoid this game. I don't know yet. Again, once the 10,000 simulations are done, we'll see if any of these pop out of everything. I don't love this game. Braves at the Nats. You got Charlie Morton versus Mackenzie Gore. Obviously, Morton has seen him enough, so 97 plate appearances. Mackenzie Gore, tournament-wise, he would go very under-owned today. That is for sure. He's had mild success against them. And the Braves' offense sometimes has faltered a little bit. But we look at this. We look at this a little bit. We can see Morton is still 8,900. He's got a 3.88 ERA. Coming off a pretty good game against Oakland. You're supposed to have a good game against Oakland. But then he just faced this Washington team not too long ago. I believe we did use him in this Washington team, and he gave up 8 earned runs against them. This is where I'll tell you, I think we're a little bit different than other DFS channels. They decide to set it and forget it, scrub it out of the memory, scrub it off the internet. They won't say when they're wrong. We were wrong with Charlie Morton. I do not trust this 40-year-old going up against this Washington team. He just got lit up by them not too long ago. He's had some good games mixed in with every other game. It seems like it's a bad game lately. 3.4, 19.9, 2.4, 21.3. Now, if it follows the pattern, he's facing this Washington team. I don't like it. Could he go off? He could. Will he? I doubt it. I'm probably not on him. Then you have Mackenzie Gore. We look at Mackenzie Gore. Where is he at? He's right here at 8,300. 3.57 ERA. He just faced this Atlanta team in that same series. 30.4 at 7,700. They have pumped his price up. Tournaments, I'm okay with Gore because everyone and their mom will be on Atlanta stacking against a lefty. And it's completely understandable. But they did not do well against Atlanta or against Washington and Gore 2 games ago. That is what I'm talking about. So, if we look at the games, we look at the bats. The bats that, if I were to go against Gore, would be Marcell Ozuna, normally dominates lefties. Austin Riley, same thing. Travis d'Arnaud would be a cheap catching option against a lefty. Ozzie Albies, Sean Murphy, Adam Duvall, all of these guys normally would hit well. If I were to take Atlanta, those would be the bats I look at. Flip side of that, if I want to take Mackenzie Gore because maybe we think he's going to have another good game, and his ownership should be pretty low, I would look at Washington bats against Morton. I would look at C.J. Abrams, probably the top Washington bat. Joey Gallo would be a tournament option. He's only boom or bust. It's a home run or not, so if he doesn't hit one, he's not going to do much probably. Joey Meneses is one I would look at. Luis Garcia, Eddie Rosario, those would be the ones. I don't know if I'm going to have any exposure to Washington, but those would be the bats in this game that I would use if I think both of these pitchers are not going to have a good game. Blue Jays at the Athletics, you've got Kevin Gausman versus Luis Medina. Gausman has been so frustrating this year. He's got a great matchup here against Oakland in Oakland. It's a pitcher's park. We saw they lost to Oakland. Oakland walked them off yesterday. But again, they only scored 1 run, and that was in the 6th inning until the 9th inning. And then Toronto only put up 1 run in the 7th inning. What are we doing, Toronto? I don't know. So we did use Medina his last start. I do know that. And we've used Gossman off and on this year. He is 9,100. He's got a matchup here against Oakland. He has not faced Oakland this year. Pitching on the road, he has a better ERA on the road, and this is a pitcher's park. This would be his game. I have him on my season-long team. I'm pretty much done with him if he does not have a good game here against Oakland. He hasn't faced him much in his career because not very many people on Oakland's been there very long. I don't know. Like, he's got a 4.60 ERA, 4-4 record. He's not getting run support from his team. He's 9,100. He is expensive. That's the only thing that scares me. Gossman scares me a little bit just due to, is he going to get run support? What are we doing? Tournaments, I will have Gossman. Medina, I will have Medina in tournaments as well because Toronto's offense. Now, here's the problem. Toronto's offense can go off at any time. But they haven't. Medina comes in. He's got an ERA of 0. We used him in his last start against Atlanta because his ownership would be low. 5.2 innings, 6 Ks, 22.4 at 6,000. They've moved him up $1,000. Atlanta's a better team. Gave up 1 run in that game. I will have some Medina. I think both of these pitchers, technically, I think Gossman's more of your cash option just because he's got a better matchup. I think Medina is your tournament option, but Medina allows you to build a lineup around him with his price. Gossman, it's very hard to do that since he's the 3rd highest priced guy on this slate. So offenses, honestly, I'm not really looking at the offenses here. I'm probably avoiding this offense. Obviously, Vlad, Davis Schneider, Bo Bichette, Danny Jansen are the ones I'd look at. They did just DFA Kevin Biggio, and the fat boy Alek Manoah is out for the season, which is not surprising. Manoah helps the team more being hurt out for the year and possibly next year than being on the team. Can anyone here tell me a faster, harder, bigger downfall than Alek Manoah, who 2 seasons ago, did he start the All-Star game? Was in the All-Star game, Cy Young, whatever, lost it, got the yips, whatever he got. Last year was bad. Obviously, we know everything that went down. It's wild. He's going to be a high school pitching coach or high school coach within 5 years, probably. It's so wild how fast he went down. But you can't get too arrogant like they were arrogant. But yeah, the offensive wise, I'm out of this game. There's just other games, other teams we can look at that I feel more comfortable with than this game. We got the Cubs at the Reds. You got Ben Brown versus Andrew Abbott. Ben Brown, we have not used him this year. We've gone around him. I haven't liked what he brings to the table. He's 8,400, does have 3.33 ERA. Has already faced Cincinnati once this year, gave up 5 earned runs. Game logs, we did not use him against Cincy in that game. He just went there. We actually went against him. We stacked Cincy, and I think I want to do that again, especially in this ballpark. This ballpark being Great American Small Park, it gives up a ton of runs. If you want to see those runs, go to the MLB tab, check everything out we have down below. We've got the ballpark ratings. This ballpark, I guarantee you, will have the most amount of runs or park factors today, I bet. Just looking at this. Actually, London Stadium does. But this is the second one here in the actual main slate. Wind is blowing out to left. That's a 28% or a plus 28% boost to home runs in this game. I absolutely love this game to stack bats. I'm not looking at pitching. I'm looking at bats in this game. Both sides. I think I lean a little bit more towards Cincy. Ellie De La Cruz I would obviously look at. Will Benson, Spencer Steer, Stuart Fairchild, Candelario. I would look at these bats. Cubs bats I would look at Seiya Suzuki, Chris Morel if he's in there, Dansby Swanson. Pete Crow Armstrong, did he get called back up? PCA get called back up? Yesterday, or when was this? Yeah, okay. So he might sit against lefties. That's the problem. He might not be in this game because obviously Abbott being a lefty. So he's probably out. I don't know. We'll see. Look at Cody Bellinger, obviously, like Mike Tauchman, if he's leading off too. It just really depends. The Cubs offense has been very frustrating pretty much since 2016 when they won the World Series. But they've still been putting up runs. I would definitely look at this. You could look at Ian Happ as well, but Suzuki and Morel against the lefty, I absolutely love in this game. Next game, you got the Mariners at the Royals. We saw the Mariners were up. The Mariners last night were up. What were they up? The Mariners scored 7 in the first yesterday, then 1 in the fourth, so they were up 8-0. The Royals put up 4 in the fourth, 3 in the sixth, and they walked it off with 3 in the ninth. They won 10-9. I don't see this being the same thing. The wind is blowing in this stadium. It is a pitcher's park. We've got Luis Castillo, who started off the season very slow, but then they are on. And yesterday I loved the Mariners as a stack, and they put up 7 runs in the first. It worked out, not till the end. But Castillo, in his career, 97 plate appearances, 194. He's had success against them in the past. He's the second. I think I would pay $400 more for him against Kansas City than Oakland, which is wild because he's been more consistent. 2.99 ERA. He has not faced Kansas City this year. Pitching on the road, he's a little bit worse, but the wind is blowing in, and this is a pitcher's park. Coming off 28.2 against the Angels, mid-tier against Houston and New York and Baltimore. The matchup is better for Gossman. I will say that. But I will have some exposure to Castillo for sure. Then you got Alec Marsh. Splits-wise, he's faced Seattle once this year. 5 innings, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 1 home run, 1.80 ERA, got the loss. Did not have run support. I don't know who that was against, but yeah, it was 4 starts ago. 102 pitches, so he's going deep into games. Tournament-wise, I'm okay with Marsh because Seattle, they do strike out a ton. He struck them out 6 times, and like we've mentioned, they're the worst teams so far against striking out, against opposing starters or bullpen. They just strike out a ton, but they put up runs. Like we saw yesterday, they put up 7 runs yesterday. So in that game yesterday, let's see. So they still had 10 strikeouts. They struck out 10 times in that game yesterday, but they still put up 8 runs. So, I mean, that's the kind of offense you're looking at. They're going to put up runs, but they're going to strike out a ton. Alec Marsh, 3.76 ERA, being a little bit better. Well, he is a little bit worse at home, but the wind is blowing in. So the only problem is I don't know if there'll be a ton of home runs. There could be a ton of runs in this game. I think what I'm doing is Castillo's more of your cash. Marsh is more of your tournament. The bats that I would look at, on the flip side, if you don't think Marsh is going to do good, Cal Raleigh, J-Rod, Mitch Haniger, Dylan Moore, J.P. Crawford are ones that I would look at. Obviously, Kansas City bats have had success. I don't know if they will against Castillo. Obviously, Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, MJ Melendez, I believe, had a big home run yesterday. Nelson Velasquez would be another one that I would look at. So, tournament-wise, I'm okay with Kansas City bats as a stack, but I like Luis Castillo today. Then we got the Orioles at the Rays. You got Kyle Bradish versus Taj Bradley. Bradish coming in here, 3.18 ERA. Splits-wise, he has already faced Tampa Bay once this year. Only went 2.2 innings. Gave up 5 earned runs in those 2.2 innings. Looking at this on the road, he is better on the road for whatever reason. But he just faced Tampa Bay his last start. Did not do well. 3 walks. Did have 6 strikeouts. Man, in this ballpark, I don't love this ballpark. Bradish for tournaments, because Tampa Bay's bad, I'm okay with. But 8,700 for a performance he just did, I don't know if I trust him enough. I don't think I do. And then you got Taj Bradley, 5.81 ERA coming in. Splits-wise, Baltimore gave up 9 earned runs in that same game. There's a ton of runs in this game. He only lasted 3.1 innings, gave up 9 earned runs, and that was the game. I don't trust him. Minus 11.7. I would look at offenses here. We know Baltimore, whenever they're on there, they're obviously a great offensive team when they're clicking, and I feel like they're going to click again. Taj Bradley just hasn't done it for me. I don't think we've used Taj at all this year. Obviously, Gunnar Henderson, Ryan Mountcastle, Adley Rushman, Colton Cowser, a little bit cheaper option. You could look at Cedric Mullins. Like, there are so many different ways to go in this Baltimore game. This feels like when you're making a stack, you got to go differently. You got to find different stacks here. Because, again, you're not going to be able to afford Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rushman, Mountcastle, like all of these together. You're going to have to split it up a little bit. Tampa Bay-wise, Yandy Diaz, Arozarena, Jose Siri had a home run yesterday. Isaac Paredes you would look at. So I did say let's go with Harold Ramirez, or he was, if I were to stack, he would be one, and he got DFA'd yesterday. So it really just depends. Like, we've got to wait. Like, none of these bats, unless after the simulations, they don't jump out to me for Tampa Bay yet. We will look at them when they get here. None are like outside of Yandy Diaz, Randy Arozarena, Isaac Paredes, Richie Palacios. I don't love Tampa Bay, but they just put up a ton of runs against Bradish, so we've got to have some exposure somewhere. Red Sox at the White Sox, you got Brian Bayo versus Nick Nastrini. Now, there is some weather concerns today, and this is one of those weather concerns. Bayo has a great matchup here against Chicago. Up and down this year, 9.7 against Detroit, has not faced the White Sox this year. Looking at this, I believe the White Sox, they won yesterday, which is wild. They won 7-2. 1 in the first, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, 1 in the eighth. It depends on who. Bayo overall started off the season. He comes in though 4.36 ERA on the road. He's got a 4.83 ERA. The weather scares me a little bit. I don't know. The weather is a concern. I don't know if I trust it. Obviously, it's a plus matchup for Bayo. It's a plus matchup for any pitcher. Tournaments I'm okay with, but we got to watch this weather. So this weather cell that's going through is going through where I live right now. It's not like huge rain, but obviously it could pick up. So I'm scared about this game. Honestly, you look at that. I'm not looking at Nastrini. I would obviously look at... I would look at Boston bats a little bit, but there's some Chicago bats I guess I would look at. So Boston bats, Devers, O'Neill, Jarren Duran, maybe a little bit of Jamie Westbrook because he'd be so cheap. Chicago bats, obviously Luis Robert Jr., Corey Julks, Andrew Vaughn. Not a ton. I don't love this game. I will admit, I do not love this game. Obviously, the advantage should be to Bayo, but I don't know if I'll use him at all. I honestly, at the moment, I don't know if I'll use him at all. Move to the Brewers at the Tigers. You got Freddie Peralta versus Casey Mize. Now, Casey Mize has been not very good this year. Freddie Peralta he is $10,000. He's $1,000 cheaper than he was against Chicago White Sox. We used him, obviously, in that game. Splits-wise, he has not faced Detroit this year. Overall, when he's been on the road, a 3.63 ERA. If the weather's good, let's see what the weather's like in this game. Rain in this game as well. Again, that's what stinks. I would use Peralta. I would not use Casey Mize. If we look at Casey Mize here, all the way down here at 6,600, 4.70 ERA, has not faced Milwaukee this year. At home, he is better at home, but Milwaukee can put up a ton of runs. They are a very good offensive team, like we mentioned yesterday. It was either yesterday's video or the day before. You look at him, obviously the bats I'm looking at for Milwaukee, Christian Yelich, William Contreras, Jake Bauers would be a cheap option, Willy Adames. You could look at Jackson Chourio, Rhys Hoskins, Bryce Turang. Like, there's a ton to like. I think if you narrowed it down, it's Contreras, it's Yelich, it's Willy Adames is my top three. Mixture of some sort of, if Andrew Monasterio is in there, if Joey Ortiz is in there. I guess a little bit of Gary Sanchez. The only way to do both Gary Sanchez and William Contreras, as you guys know, is on FanDuel with the catching and the utility option. So it really depends. I'd rather take Peralta, and I'd rather take the Brewers bats over the Tigers bats and Casey Mize at all. Then you got the Rockies at the Cardinals. You got Ryan Feltner versus Kyle Gibson. So we've got Feltner here. Down here at the bottom, 5,800. Splits-wise, 6.22 ERA. Has not faced Cardinals this year. Obviously, as the majority of pitchers that pitch here would, he's better on the road because Coors is bad, but he still has a 5.54 ERA on the road with 30 strikeouts and 6 home runs. I'm looking at the Cardinals bats here. I'm not looking at Feltner at all. And then St. Louis, this one, I don't know what to think. So we come in. Am I not seeing it? Gibson. Where's Kyle Gibson? There. He's 6,900. Splits-wise, he's got... I mean, Colorado's not good. Pitching at home for Gibson, 424. It's a little up there. I'm probably not on either of these pitchers. I'm probably looking at the bats. I'm obviously going to focus more on the Cardinals bats, but there are some Colorado bats that I could see. Ryan McMahon for Colorado, Brandon Rogers, Brenton Doyle. You want to go very cheap, you could go Jake Cave. You could go Charlie Blackmon a little bit. The Cardinals bats that I would look at here against Feltner, Alec Burleson, Brendan Donovan, Mason Wynn, Nolan Gorman. Like, these are the cheap options. Obviously, Goldie and Arenado are the big options there. You could look at Dylan Carlson as well. But yeah, I'm given the slight... I don't know if I'll have much exposure to this game. I am given the slight edge, though, to St. Louis bats. But I think bats on both sides could go either way. And there you have it. That is the breakdown of the early slate. Now let's get into the 4-game turbo night slate, whatever it's called. So we look at that. You got the Guardians at the Marlins. You got Ben Lively versus Roddery Munoz. Really haven't seen much of either guy. They haven't seen each other. You got Ben Lively coming in. 8,300. Obviously has a plus matchup here. Has not faced Miami this year. Pitching on the road. He's actually been worse on the road. Whether or not that's going to matter, I don't know. Game logs been pretty good. Against the Angels, 22.2. Against the Mets, 25.2. The Mets are the Mets. And then you got Munoz. 5.17 ERA, splits-wise. Home games has been good at home, but that's one game. Against the Dodgers, not good. Against Colorado, good. Chicago, pretty good. Tournaments, Munoz for 7,300 I'm okay with, but I think I'd rather look at Cleveland bats a little bit. I would look at Jose Ramirez. I would look at Josh Naylor. I would look at David Fry, Tyler Freeman, Brian Rocchio. I would look at, be a cheap option there. Stephen Kwan. Miami bats, I'm probably off of them, but if you were looking, Berger, Chisholm, Josh Bell, probably it for me. I'd rather take a little bit of Ben Lively and the Guardians bats over Munoz. Then we got the Dodgers at the Yankees. We saw a pitching duel. It went into extra innings. The strike zone was absolutely god-awful. That's another thing. Another thing you don't think about. Some people don't think about. We do. But we have the umpire factors. So the umpire factors give a breakdown of who's the home plate umpire. And you can tell if he's going to be pitcher-friendly, hitter-friendly, with the percentages and the rating. So you can see boosted stats. So if he gets a stat to strikeout, if it's over 1, it's a pitcher's. If it's over 1 for walks, it's a hitter's. And that's what we saw. The strike zone was ridiculous last night. But this is just another one. You can see the rates and averages out of all of the games they've done. This is another statistic. You can look down. You can see how they are. So this is just one more tool. It's a free tool. Go check it out, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. But looking at this, Nestor Cortez has been great at home. He's way better at home than on the road. The Dodgers obviously are a very powerful team. They've not played like a powerful team, but any given time they can. This is what scares me. Tournaments, and especially Cortez, is the highest priced pitcher on this slate, which is wild. 3.47 overall ERA. Splits-wise is massive. Home games, 1.12. Away, 6.17. We kind of saw that. Middle of the tier on the road here in 2 starts, but at home has been fantastic. Tournament-wise, Nestor Cortez, I don't mind. I don't mind him at all. Then Gavin Stone comes in. Wait a minute. Michael Grove. Okay, I was thinking Gavin Stone pitched in the bullpen yesterday. They exhausted their bull. I mean, they did. I think they did 6 or 7 pitchers yesterday after Yamamoto. Or the Yankees again. So Juan Soto was out. It looked like he was going to pinch hit. I think he could get in this game at any time. We'll see if he plays in this series. The Yankees obviously lost the game yesterday. The fact that I absolutely hate the extra inning rule with the batter on second, because the teams, they don't bunt them up. Like Trent Grisham came in, couldn't bunt the guy over. Just wild times that we have there. I dislike the extra inning rule. This is national television. This whole series is going to be national television. Looking at this game, Gavin Stone has only faced 8 plate appearances. He hasn't seen them much, obviously. Comes in, second highest price pitcher at 8,400. 2.32 ERA, splits-wise, away games, he's been better on the road. Against Colorado at home, 23.7, then 32. Now, the Yankees will strike out, so I like Gavin Stone here as well. But both of these offenses can obviously go off. But it depends if they're going to show up. Did not show up yesterday until the extra innings, and they only put up 3 runs total. Ohtani didn't show up yesterday against the lefty here. I don't know. But Nestor Cortez loves to hang some breakers right in the middle of that plate. Teoscar Hernandez, we love to take him against a lefty. Mookie Betts against a lefty. Will Smith against a lefty. Like, there are a ton of bats that hit lefties well. Flip side of that, the Yankees bats I would use every single Yankee bat. Outside of, I'm not using Trent Grisham if he's in there. I don't trust him. Anthony Rizzo is basically a pop-up machine right now. I wouldn't use him. DJ, I don't know if I would use him. There's just no speed. I think the Yankees, the best thing they could do is stop playing both LeMahieu and Rizzo and trade for Ryan McMahon from Colorado for third. I don't know. Call up some guys that have speed. It depends. This could be a very high-scoring game with both power offenses, or it could be a game like yesterday. I think both pitchers are tournament pitchers. I don't love it. I don't know if I'll play this late slate, though. But yeah, just there's only a couple bats for the Yankees I wouldn't use. A couple bats for the Dodgers I wouldn't use. Other than that, all systems go here. Both pitchers have been good, one on the road, one at home. But again, these offenses, if they're on, they can go at any time. Then you got the Diamondbacks at the Padres, Ryan Nelson versus Matt Waldron. Looking at this, Waldron's got a fantastic knuckleball. Nelson comes in, 5.44 ERA. Splits-wise, he's already faced San Diego once this year, 5 innings, 4 earned runs, only 3 strikeouts. I'm not using him. If I'm using anyone, it would be Waldron. 3.98 ERA. He's faced Arizona once this year, but he has not had success. 3 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. I'm probably just on offenses. I'm not using either pitcher, especially on a 4-game slate like this. Yeah. Keyword of the day is pool. Keyword is pool. Why? Because I tried to put ours up yesterday and got the pump ready, good to go. I don't have the correct. I got a new pump for it. I don't have the fittings. It's a huge sand pump, doesn't fit. I got to find some adapters. So very upset. Spent 4 hours putting everything together. Couldn't put it up. So keyword pool. But Arizona bats: Ketel Marte, Jock Peterson, Christian Walker, Corbin Carroll, Eugenio Suarez, Gabriel Moreno. Like, I love a Diamondback stack today. Depends on the lineup that comes out. I think the first 3 we would look at, and then sprinkle in some other guys there. There's just a ton of offense that can hit well, and they've hit him this year. Flip side of that, the Padres. Did Machado play yesterday? Day-to-day. He might be out. I would still look at Tatis. Tatis had a great home run yesterday. I would look at Tatis. I would look at Profar. I would look at Merrill, Jake Cronenworth, Luis Ariz. I do like a San Diego stack here against Ryan Nelson. I think this could be a high-scoring game. It is a pitcher's park, but I think it's a high-scoring game. So I'm not going to have either pitcher. And then we get to the final one, Astros at the Angels. Hunter Brown versus Tyler Anderson. And you look at this, Hunter Brown, he comes in with a 6.18 ERA. Away games, 9.16 ERA. He has faced the Angels once this year, got the loss, went 6 innings, 2 earned runs, just did not have the run support. And that was 3 starts ago. Lost that game. 3 strikeouts in that game. I'm not on Hunter Brown. And then Anderson. It's 2.37 ERA. He's faced Houston once this year. 8 innings, 1 earned run. The strikeouts were low. But 23.2. So it's the same matchup that we just saw 3 starts ago. I would look at Anderson. I would not look at Hunter Brown. I don't love the offenses here. If you think Anderson's not going to do well, so they just put Kyle Tucker on the IL. Jordan does hit lefties well. Yainer Diaz is supposed to hit lefties well. Has not been. Bregman, same thing. Altuve, kind of the same thing. I do like Anderson for tournaments. If I were to use the Angels bats, Taylor Ward, Logan O'Hoppe, Joe Adell, Zach Neto a little bit, Nolan Schanuel, I don't mind. I don't know if I'll have much exposure to the offenses in this game, but I will have some exposure to the Angels and Tyler Anderson. Just a little bit, not a ton. Especially on a 4-game slate like this. Not a ton, but there will be some. And there you have it. That is the breakdown of all of the games. The early slate, the main slate, the 4-game late slate, night slate, whatever you want to call it. If you want to check it out, this is the cheat sheet from yesterday. This is kind of what I'm talking about. This is what you get for $10 a week, $30 a month. Go check it out. These are our cash plays from yesterday. These are our tournament plays from yesterday. Then you look at the pitchers to target against and we were good. Like our first stack on fire yesterday. 7 runs in the first inning. And these are not the only plays, but these are like if there are more plays we'll use over here. But yeah, these are the ones that you could look through. The plays go on, check it out. We got Fanduel ownership, if it loads. We've got DK ownership. We've got our weather, so you can see if there's delayed chances, postponement, batter ratings, pitcher ratings, whichever. You can check that out. Fanduel, DraftKings, these are great starting points, not end-all, be-all. And then boomstick shots, ones we think might hit home runs, so you can check it all out. This is just part of the cheat sheet. Everything else under the MLB tab, from projections to simulations to chalk to prop bets, we've got it all for you. So if you want to check it out, $10 a week, DFS, and sports betting on top of it. So now let's do the 10,000 simulations and see where we're at. Now these can and will change a little bit, but these are the making of the video. Number 1, Jarren Duran, which is wild, but Jarren Duran comes in at number 1. Number 2 is Emmanuel Valdez. Number 3 is Jose Ramirez. 4, Bobby Witt Jr. 5, Ellie De La Cruz. 6, Nolan Gorman. 7, TJ Friedl. 8, Luis Robert. 9, Judge. 10, Altuve. 11, Josh Rojas. 12 is Rafael Devers. Well, it's Bryce Harper, but we can't play that. 13 is Devers. 14 is Duvall. 15, Gunnar Henderson. 16, Suzuki. 17, Ozzie Albies. 18, Kyle Schwarber. 19, CJ Abrams. And number 20 is Jurickson Profar. Now, those are the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. Let's go over the bats that all have a 10-plus matchup today, and there are a ton today. So these are all ones that make sense, that have 10 rating in their matchup, so it gives them the advantage over pitchers. And this is actually on the simulation model. You can sort it by rating or versus number. Jarren Duran, number 1. 2 is J-Ram. 3 is Bobby Witt Jr. 4 is Nolan Gorman. 5 is Altuve. 6 is Josh Rojas. 7 is Devers. 8, Adam Duvall. 9, Ozzie Albies. 10, Jurickson Profar. 11, Jake Myers. 12, Fernando Tatis Jr. 13, Matt Olson. 14, Yordan Alvarez. 15, Salvador Perez. 16, J.P. Crawford. 17, Dalton Varsho. 18, Dominic Smith. 19, Mookie Betts. Number 20, Jake Cronenworth. 21, Brendan Donovan. 22, Justin Turner. 23, Hassan Kim. And 24, Alejandro Kirk. So if you want to see all of these, the top 20 overall, we've got all of them there. The top 23 with 10 rating, go check out the simulation models right here. And that's what I've got. Huge video. Hopefully it's a great Saturday for you. I know it's a longer video, but hopefully it helps you bring home that bacon. So we build you guys as much confidence as we can. Hopefully you are fantastic. Let us know how you've done it. Go check out our Discord. Go check out everything else. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.